Now, while the World Cup is a huge thing, tennis is an Olympic sport. Your sport is mainly focused every 4 years at the Olympics. Do you believe, now after going to the Summer Games for the first time, going to the All England Club and seeing the tennis there, should tennis be an Olympic sport?
Yeah, I definitely think so. I mean, if there's sports like archery and curling in the Olympics, then I definitely think, sports like tennis and, golf, I think as well should be in the Olympics. I think there is an element of, tradition in the Olympics and, sports that have been around for a long time, even if they're not necessarily popular, or even if there's not necessarily a lot of athletes that do it, that should still stay around. But at the same time, you have to, be realistic with modern day times. And I mean, a sport like golf and obviously tennis should definitely be in the Olympics. I mean, the level of athleticism should be recognized. And so I definitely think that tennis should be an Olympic sport.
But isn't it so uniquely different? You see the heartbreak, Federer loses the silver medal, and then a couple weeks later he has a chance to try and win the U.S. Open, or Djokovic or Murray backing up his Olympic gold with winning the U.S. Open. Whereas the true Olympic sports, the onus and the pressure is so focused on those 4 years, and the difference between success and failure is so small, and then they have so long to redeem themselves. I mean, there is an inequity in that regard in these professional sports, similar with the NBA and other sports. I mean, you get to redeem yourself on the World Cup Series, but the Olympics is such a priority.
Yeah, but I mean, it's hard to say. I mean, for me, we have the World Cup tour. We have, I have a lot of opportunities to redeem myself, but the pressure of the Olympics is so high because our sport isn't recognized necessarily that much outside of the World Cup tour.
Do you resent that?
I don't resent it, but it's definitely, disappoints me. It makes me sad that, our sport isn't followed by most Americans. I mean, we don't even have our sport on TV in the U.S. I mean, in Europe, it's, prime time. It's, there's thousands of people at every race. It's, one of the most popular sports, but in the U.S., people only watch the Olympics. So I know that, so I can relate to the pressure of the Olympics, but I mean, just because tennis has the Grand Slams doesn't mean that the Olympics are less important to the athletes.
So which do you think should mean more to a tennis player, a Grand Slam or an Olympic gold?
The Olympic gold medal means something entirely different than a Grand Slam. And the Olympics is one day. I mean, obviously tennis is over the course of, 2 weeks, but I mean, it's one chance. You have one opportunity. It's one tournament. Whereas, Grand Slams, you have 4 a year. So it's obviously still just as hard because it's the same players, but it means something totally different. Just like me in the World Cup, the overall title is something that is so difficult to achieve. And for me means, so much, but at the same time, the Olympic medal is very difficult to get for a reason. There's a lot of pressure and you only have one chance to do it. So
when it's so concentrated right before that huge run, you're in the gate, the gold medal on the line, what do you go through physically and emotionally to give yourself the best chance to be successful?
It's an interesting process. I don't know, it was very bizarre, but for World Cups normally I have to visualize the course 100 times. I have to really focus on making sure I'm calm and relaxed. Sometimes I get too anxious and too excited, and my muscles will tense up, and I don't ski with as much aggression as I should because I'm just too tight. So I kind of have to assess how tight I am and where I am every day and every race, but in general, it's just about staying relaxed.
How's the quality in skiing? In tennis, it's equal prize money. It's a huge focus. Women's tennis is one of the most popular female sports in the world. How's the equality in skiing between the men's tour and the women's tour?
It's equally bad.
Is prize money the same?
Yes,
Is
prize money is the
focus
same. It's equally bad. For a World Cup, it's like 30 grand for a win. For a World Cup win, you don't get any money for winning discipline titles or overall World Cup titles. You don't get any money for World Championships. Obviously, no money for the Olympics. I mean, you look at Grand Slams or golf, and these guys are making 1.8 or over 2 million or whatever, plus cars, plus sponsorship money. I mean, our sport is just peanuts compared to these other sports. So it's definitely frustrating, but it's definitely, the quality is fine. Like, I mean, we both genders get equally as little money.
But I watch you out there. You're like a human billboard, so I'm pretty sure that your agents and you guys are figuring out a way to monetize your talent.
No, it's different. I am sponsored by Red Bull on my helmet, and I have my own personal sponsors like Under Armour and Rolex and Vail Resorts and stuff like that. But the advertising that we have on our speed suits is, I don't see any of that money. That money goes to our team, to our federation, because we are not a government-funded sport. So. All that money goes to paying for our flights, our hotels. The entire team gets funded by the walking billboard that I am when I ski, which is good. We obviously need that, but it's not as easy as one would think to get the sponsorship money.
It sounds like the same politics are viable in all sports, whether it's the NCAA, tennis, basketball. It seems like it's just part of the sporting nature. 40 years now of Title IX. Huge initiative that has given women the opportunity to compete on an equal playing field as men. Do you feel a direct correlation to that, and say someone that we're so proud of in our sport, what Billie Jean King did to help push the bar forward to give women an equal opportunity to compete?
I mean, I'm trying to go in that direction. I've made a formal request to race with the men. I don't know if it's going to happen. It's probably going to take a few years to get done, but that's definitely something that I'm pushing forward towards. And I've actually written to Billie Jean King, and she's responded a little bit. So I'm trying to kind of come up with a game plan as to how I can really make this happen, and hopefully raise and push the bar in my sport.
What's your main motivation for one? Because there's been a lot of different reports, some even negative. What is your main motivation for wanting to ski against the men?
It's a personal goal of mine. I mean, I'm the kind of person that always wants to go faster. I wanna find the limit. I wanna be more dynamic, be more powerful. And the men, they race at that next level, and that's where I want to be. So I've trained with them a lot. I'm usually right in the mix, and I want to be in a race situation and really lay my cards out on the table and see where I stand. I've definitely gotten a lot of mixed responses for this. Some people are saying that it's a complete publicity stunt. Some people are saying that I have no chance and I'm going to be dead last. So it's definitely been frustrating. I definitely didn't expect so much negative reactions from so many people. But there's people like Kelly Vanderbeek and Shemi Alcott who have really stood behind me and understand and respect what I'm doing, and they think it's great for the sport, and I honestly think it's great for the sport as well. I mean, I'm petitioning to race in Lake Louise, Canada, and there are probably 15 people in the stands at that race. It's not a popular race. It's not live on American TV, and this is a chance to maybe have a couple people be watching it. So I think in general, it's great. It's obviously a personal goal, but I think the end result is definitely going to be positive for our sport.
It's also very strategic. That's a slope that you had a lot of success on and would probably have the best opportunity to be successul.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't a coincidence that I picked Lake Louise. I picked it for a reason. I've had a lot of success there in the last couple of years. It's a hill that I know very well, and it's the only hill where the men and women race on almost the same course. I mean, it's definitely different for the men, a little bit faster, and a little bit different course set, but it's basically the same. So I feel like that's the best chance that I have of getting in there with those guys.
Billie Jean King, Bobby Riggs, Lindsey Vonn, fill in the blank. Is it Bodie Miller? I mean, who would be the
Men's World Cup.
But give us one. If you had the opportunity to make it one person, if they didn't allow you to race against the field, and you just did it a money match, if it was just a pure goal.
But that's not the point. I'm not interested in doing a money match. Like I'm not interested in doing an exhibition against one person. I want to race in a normal race situation with everyone. And I don't know. I mean, people have thrown that idea out, and that's not the point for me.
Drugs in racing, in skiing, in sports. It's become a huge theme now with what's happened with Lance Armstrong, in individual sports and Olympic sports where people do anything in order to gain an edge. Is it a factor in skiing? Is it a tangible theme?
Doping is not something that you see in ski racing. To my knowledge, I don't know if anyone's ever, been tested or positive for anything in our sport, besides maybe like cold medicine or something silly like that. Especially, on the women's tour, for us, you need mass to be competitive, and I don't think women generally have a problem putting on mass. But I mean, it's definitely common in different sports, but ski racing I don't think has an issue with that.
Last year you had a tough year personally, and you rebounded with having one of your most successful years professionally. Mm-hmm. How much satisfaction did that give you?
I feel like skiing is the only place where I have, my time, where I have peace and quiet and I'm happy. And there was so much going around in my life last season, with my divorce and everything. I just found a lot of peace on the slopes, and I think that really showed in my results, and it really gave me a lot of personal satisfaction and made me proud, and I was extremely happy of what I was able to achieve.
You had a tough relationship with your father, as do a lot of individual sport athletes, similar in tennis. You guys have reconnected. How satisfying has that been, having more of a family structure? Your sister Laura is going to travel with you a bit on the World Cup season this year. To have that support system like we see so much in tennis, how important is that for you to be successful?
It's really important. I mean, I need some stability. I mean, there's so much going on in my life that I need to have people that I can rely on, and it's definitely been very difficult the last 6 years not speaking with my father, but we have a good relationship now, and we're building back into it, and I'm definitely very happy that I have my sisters, Karen and Laura, both been so supportive and such a rock in my life that I wouldn't be where I am without them, and my brothers as well, but they're boys, so it's hard to really understand each other quite as well.
What about the sex symbol dynamic of Lindsey Vonn and female athletes? Is it fair for attractive female athletes to be viewed in that way?
Yeah, I mean, it's my image. It's part of the business side of it. I mean, it's if I didn't go to red carpet events, and if I didn't dress up and be in something other than my ski gear and my helmet or my athletic clothes, then I wouldn't be where I am. It's all part of it. It's all part of your job. It's all part of, well, at least who I am. I mean, you obviously don't have to do it, but if you want to be, if you want to transcend sport, you have to do that.
We're taking Federer out of it because it's too easy of an answer for you. Best looking tennis player, not named Federer.
Not named Federer. That's tough.
You could give a grouping.
Nadal's pretty cute.
That's almost borderline blasphemous for a Federer fan to give
You're
love
asking
to.
cute.
I
You're
am.
not saying
I'm
who's
just
my
saying.
favorite player.
I am. It's just that's a huge team switch there. But okay, I'll give you Nadal.
I liked Safin, but he's obviously not playing anymore.
Which do you put more stock in? Genetics, nature, work ethic, upbringing? I mean, can you create a Lindsey Vonn? Can you create a Roger Federer?
No, I don't think so. I mean, I think it's all of the above. It's a combination of your genetics, your parents, where you live, what your training opportunities are, who your coach is. I mean, it all comes into play, and it's not one thing. You can't create an athlete in a test tube. It just doesn't work that way. And it also comes down to a lot to do with determination and your motivation. I mean, You have to be able to do things other people don't want to do, and work hard when you don't want to work hard. And a lot of people just don't want to do that. So you can't recreate or make a successful athlete. It just kind of happens.
I know a big part of your success and your training is incredibly physical. Walk us through a day in the life, in the training phase, when you're gearing up for your season, and what you put your body through physically.
Well, an average day, I usually wake up. I don't like waking up super early, but I wake up around 8, get on the bike for an hour without breakfast, have breakfast. I usually have 4 egg white omelet with vegetables and coffee, of course. And then I head to the gym. I work out and do, core, lifting, coordination, balance, whatever. I do, a combination of things, and then I'll usually bike again for another hour. And then sometimes in the afternoon I'll have another hour, hour and a half of biking. So I do a lot of biking in my routine. The endurance is really good for my sport simply because we have such a long season. I mean, we start in October and we don't end until the end of March. So that's always been a key component in my program. But it's definitely tough. It's tough to continuously be motivated to go to the gym. It's tough to be motivated to sit on a stupid bike for 3, 4, 5 hours a day. I mean, it's pretty boring, honestly. And I can't bike outside anymore because I'm too much of a klutz, and I have had a few accidents and almost broken my arm. So my trainer has not allowed me to bike outside anymore. So riding on stationary can get a bit monotonous.
You talked about the challenges of staying motivated. It's one of the great questions for Federer. I mean, the guy has accomplished so much, and he loves the sport so much, and there seems to be so little left for him to achieve. I mean, similar to you, what does keep you motivated?
There's plenty more to achieve. I mean, as I'm sure Roger will tell you, there's no limitations to what you can do. It's only if you don't. I mean, the possibilities are infinite, and I know what's been done in my sport up to this point. I haven't gotten to that point yet, but I think it's possible too, and hopefully if I break that, then I can continue to break records, in the future. I mean, I just want to keep winning. I love competing, I love racing, I love doing what I do every single day, and I'm going to continue to be motivated until I retire.
Let's go back to the tennis for a second. Obviously you love Fed. What's your favorite tennis rivalry? What's the favorite matchup that you enjoy watching, and why?
I always thought it was really interesting when Serena and Venus play each other. And I don't think it's happened for a while, but I don't know, there's something very strange about it. And I was too young to really watch McEnroe play, but he, in general, he specifically has an amazing character. It's definitely very aggressive and a little crazy, but I like.
Did you identify with that?
Yeah, because I mean, I feel like if there was a referee or someone, telling me what if something was in or, if the ball was in or out, or if there was something, it's hard to relate to skiing, but if there was someone there telling me that, I would freak out. I'm really happy that, ski racing is just who can get from point A to point B the fastest. Because if there was someone judging me, I would flip. But thankfully that I don't have to deal with that. But I don't know. I mean, I think every matchup is very interesting, and every matchup has its own dynamic. But I always thought that Venus and Serena playing each other was definitely interesting.
What's your proudest accomplishment of everything you've achieved?
I definitely think the Olympic gold medal was my proudest achievement in my career. I worked my entire life for that. Even though the overall titles and the discipline titles and the world championship medals, those are all so important to me. But the Olympics is something totally different. And I cried like a baby for an entire day, after winning the gold medal, because it means so much to me, and my family has sacrificed so much for that one thing. I mean, if I were to end my career without Olympic gold medal, it would have been in most people's eyes and in mine, a failure. So that, I think, gave the sacrifice value and made it worth the while.
If you could have one shot from both a male player and a female player, what would they be?
I would love to have Federer serve, so consistent and always there when he needs it. And from a female player, I don't know, I'd probably take any of Serena's shots. She can pretty much outpower any woman, so I'd say any of her shots would be a good choice.
Have you ever spoken to Bodie Miller about his tennis? He has quite an affinity to tennis as well.
Yeah, I mean, he grew up playing tennis. His father has a tennis camp, and it's been a big part of his life. He's really good. I've never actually played against him, but I don't know. He's just one of those extremely talented athletes where I feel like if he played any sport, he would be successful at it. And he just, at this point, you know, he's obviously focused more on skiing, but I mean, he's an amazing tennis player, golfer. I mean, everything he does is crazy good. So I don't know. I'm not quite like that, but I have a lot of respect for people with that much athleticism.
You spent a lot of time at the tennis at the Summer Olympics, and it was your first experience at the Summer Olympics. What did you take out of the Summer Olympic experience, and specifically the tennis that was played at the All England Club?
What I took away from London was just that I was excited to compete in Sochi in the next Olympics. I mean, I love watching athletes compete, and I love the emotion of the Olympics, and it just got me excited to compete again. But I mean, specifically from tennis, you know, I took away what I always take away, is just the mental toughness and the determination that the athletes have. You know, that's what I try to do, and that's what I have. I feel like I have. You know, I feel like I'm a pretty determined person, but it's always inspiring to watch tennis players and see how hard they fight for what they want.
Lindsey, thank you for spending time with us, and thank you for giving us a little insight into another sport.
Thanks.